The sun rises over Sheetrock Hills, casting a warm glow on the bustling town. In the park, Oso, the friendly bear, is gently pushing the tools on a swing set. The tools giggle and cheer as they swing back and forth. Oso, smiling, hold on tight, everyone. After a few more swings, Oso helps the tools off the swings, and they all walk together towards Manny's truck. As they approach, the tools notice a group of people gathered around a for sale sign in front of the repair shop. Turner, curious, hey Manny, why are those people looking at the repair shop? Manny, with a gentle smile, well, Turner, Oso is now living with us and we're making some changes. But don't worry, we'll still be fixing things and helping everyone in town. The tools nod, understanding the new situation. They all hop into the truck, ready for their day at tool school. Oso, excitedly, let's go team. We've got a lot to learn today. The truck drives off, with the tools chatting excitedly about their upcoming adventures. The tools arrive at tool school, buzzing with excitement. Mrs. Candace, their kind and wise teacher, greets them at the door. Mrs. Candace, smiling, good morning everyone. Ready for another day of learning? The tools nod enthusiastically, but Dusty looks a bit worried. He approaches Mrs. Candace. Dusty, hesitant, Mrs. Candace, Manny is selling the repair shop and we might not see everyone again. The other tools, overhearing this, gasp in shock. Tools, in unison, what? They quickly hop over to Dusty and Mrs. Candace, surrounding them in a group hug. Mrs. Candace kneels down to their level, her eyes filled with understanding. Mrs. Candace, gently, oh, my dear tools, change can be hard, but it's also an opportunity for new adventures. Let me tell you a story. She leads them to the reading corner and picks up a book titled The Farmer. The tools settle down, listening intently as Mrs. Candace begins to read. Mrs. Candace, reading, once upon a time, there was a farmer who loved his land and his animals. One day, he had to move to a new town, but he knew that his love and care would make his new farm just as wonderful. As she finishes the story, she looks at the tools with a warm smile. Mrs. Candace, softly, good luck in your new town, my little friends. Remember, no matter where you go, you'll always have each other and the skills you've learned here. The tools, feeling reassured, thank Mrs. Candace and give her one last hug before heading out, ready to face their new adventures with Manny and Oso. Oso is driving the tools home after their day at tool school. The tools are chatting excitedly about the story Mrs. Candace read to them. Suddenly, Oso's phone rings. He glances at the caller ID and sees it's Bucky. Oso, answering the call, hey Bucky. What's up? Bucky, on the phone, hey Oso. I just wanted to let you know that the people are really interested in buying the repair shop. The tools, overhearing the conversation, start to look worried and upset. Turner, whispering to the others, did you hear that? They really want the repair shop. Dusty, sadly, does that mean we won't see everyone again? Oso notices the tools' reactions and quickly tries to reassure them. Oso, to Bucky, I'll call you back, Bucky. Thanks for the update. He hangs up the phone and looks at the tools with a comforting smile. Oso, gently, hey, don't worry everyone. No matter what happens, we'll figure it out together. We're a team, remember? The tools nod, feeling a bit better but still uncertain about the future. Oso continues driving, determined to find a way to keep everyone happy. It's bedtime, and Oso and Manny are tucking the tools into their cozy little beds. The room is softly lit, creating a warm and comforting atmosphere. Oso gently pulls the blanket over Pat, but notices that Pat is quietly sobbing. Oso, concerned, Pat, what's wrong? Pat, sobbing, please don't make us move, Oso. I don't want to leave our home and friends. Manny, who is standing nearby, hears Pat's plea. His face reflects the sadness and weight of the decision. He walks away from the room, his heart heavy with the thought of the tools' distress. Oso, softly, oh Pat, I know it's hard. Change can be really scary. But no matter where we go, we'll always be together. And we'll make new friends and new memories, just like we did here. Pat sniffs and nods, feeling a bit comforted by Oso's words. Oso gives Pat a gentle hug and tucks him in snugly. Oso, whispering sweet dreams, Pat. Everything will be okay. Oso turns off the light and quietly leaves the room, joining Manny in the hallway. Manny looks at Oso, his eyes filled with concern. Manny, sadly, I hate seeing them so upset, Oso. I just want them to be happy. Oso, reassuringly, we'll find a way, Manny. We'll make sure they feel safe and loved, no matter what. The sun rises on a beautiful day in Sheetrock Hills. Everyone is bustling around, getting ready for Wolfie's wedding. Kelly is teaching Lily and Squeeze how to march properly. Kelly, cheerfully, that's it, Lily. Squeeze, keep your steps in time. Meanwhile, the other tools are trying to pull up the for sale sign in front of the repair shop, determined to make things right. Suddenly, Dottie arrives, looking distressed. Dottie, frustrated the wedding's off. She jumps into her car and drives away quickly. The tools and Oso are shocked and worried. Oso, determined we can't let this happen. We need to get Dottie back to Wolfie's wedding. Oso quickly gathers the tools and they all hop into the truck. Oso puts the tools in the back and Dusty in the front seat next to him. Oso, to the tools, hold on tight everyone. We're going to bring Dottie back. They speed off, determined to find Dottie and save the wedding. The tools chatter anxiously in the back while Dusty keeps a lookout from the front seat. Dusty, encouragingly, will find her Oso. We have to. The truck races through the town, with Oso and the tools working together to bring Dottie back and ensure that Wolfie's wedding goes off without a hitch. Oso is driving the truck, with the tools in the back and Dusty in the front seat. They're racing to catch up to Dottie and save the wedding. Suddenly, they hear a siren and see flashing lights behind them. Roland, yelling police. Oso, groaning, I hate this. Oso pulls over to the side of the road. A police officer approaches the truck, looking serious. Police officer, calmly, good afternoon. I noticed you were in a bit of a hurry. What's going on? Oso, explaining, we're trying to catch up to Dottie. She drove off, and we need to get her back to Wolfie's wedding. The police officer nods, understanding the urgency. Police officer, pointing, Dottie went that way. Drive safely and good luck. Oso, grateful, thank you, officer. Oso quickly gets back on the road, driving as fast as he can while staying safe. The tools cheer as they speed off, determined to catch up to Dottie. Dusty, encouragingly, we're almost there, Oso. We can do this. The truck races down the road, with Oso and the tools working together to bring Dottie back and ensure that Wolfie's wedding goes off without a hitch. Oso is driving the truck, with the tools in the back and Dusty in the front seat. They're racing to catch up to Dottie and save the wedding. Suddenly, Sneeze speaks up from the back. Sneeze, urgently, Oso, I need the restroom. Roland, groaning, ah, Sneeze. Oso quickly spots a rest stop and pulls over. The tools hop out of the truck and Sneeze rushes to the restroom. While they wait, Squeeze notices a familiar face. Squeeze, excitedly, oh, hi, Flappy. Flappy, a friendly bird, chirps happily and flutters around the tools. Oso takes a moment to talk to Dusty. Oso, smiling, looks like we're having a new adventure, Dusty. Dusty, nodding, sure does, Oso. Let's make it a good one. Sneeze finishes up and hops back into the truck. The tools quickly follow, eager to get back on the road. Oso, determined, all right, everyone, let's go get Dottie. They drive off, more determined than ever to catch up to Dottie and ensure that Wolfie's wedding goes off without a hitch. Oso is driving the truck, with the tools in the back and Dusty in the front seat. They're racing to catch up to Dottie and save the wedding. Suddenly, Flappy the bird flies into the truck, causing a commotion. Tools, panicking, ah. Squeeze, excitedly, Flappy. Oso quickly pulls over to the side of the road. The tools calm down as Flappy flutters around for a moment before flying back out of the truck. Oso takes a deep breath and looks around, noticing a sign pointing in the direction Dottie went. Oso, determined, all right, everyone, I see a sign that shows where Dottie went. Let's go. The tools cheer as Oso starts driving again, following the sign and determined to catch up to Dottie. They know they have to bring her back to ensure that Wolfie's wedding goes off without a hitch. Oso and the tools arrive at the lookout place, where they finally find Dottie. She looks out over the beautiful view, lost in thought. Just then, Wolfie arrives, looking relieved to see her. Wolfie, gently, Dottie, we're a unique pair. We belong together. Dottie turns to Wolfie, her eyes filled with emotion. The tools, watching from the truck, cheer excitedly. Tools, in unison, we save the wedding. Oso smiles, feeling proud of the tools and their teamwork. They all hop back into the truck, ready to head back to the repair shop. As they drive back, the tools chatter happily about their adventure and the upcoming wedding. Oso, smiling, great job, everyone. We did it. The truck drives off into the sunset, with Oso and the tools feeling closer than ever, ready for whatever adventures come their way. The repair shop is beautifully decorated for the wedding. Friends and family gather, excited for the ceremony. Lola stands with Manny, Chico, and Pepe, a radiant smile on her face. Lola, happily, Manny, Chico, and Pepe, you're going to be big brothers because I'm pregnant. Manny, Chico, and Pepe cheer, thrilled by the news. The tools buzz with excitement as Dottie walks down the aisle to Wolfie, who looks at her with love and admiration. Wolfie, softly, we're a unique pair, Dottie. Dottie smiles, her eyes shining with happiness. As the ceremony concludes, Mr. Lopart catches the bouquet of flowers, much to everyone's amusement. In the tent, Wolfie and Dottie stand together, ready to make an announcement. Wolfie, announcing we have some news. Dottie and I have decided to stay here in Sheetrock Hills. The crowd erupts in cheers. Dusty looks at Dottie with a big smile. Dusty, happily, Dottie, you're having a happy ending. Music starts playing and everyone begins to dance, celebrating the joyous occasion. Oso, Manny, and the Tools join in, dancing and laughing together, knowing that their family and friends are right where they belong. How does this version? The sun rises on a new day in Sheetrock Hills. Manny and Oso are at the repair shop, reflecting on the events of the previous day. Suddenly, the Townsend family arrives and places a sold sign over the for sale sign. Manny, sighing, I wanted to wish them the best. Oso stands beside Manny, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. Oso, understandingly, I know, Manny. Change is never easy, but we've made so many wonderful memories here. And we'll make new ones too. Manny nods, feeling a bit more at ease. The Tools gather around, ready to support Manny and Oso in their next adventure. Manny, smiling, all right, everyone. Let's get to work and make the most of our time here. The Tools cheer, ready to face whatever comes next with their usual enthusiasm and teamwork. Squeeze is happily coloring at a table in the repair shop. She accidentally drops her crayons and bends down to pick them up. When she stands back up, she notices the table is gone. Squeeze, confused, Oso, have you seen the table? It disappeared. Hey, that's my bed, put it down. Oso, carrying Squeeze's bed, looks at her with a gentle smile. Oso, softly, Squeeze, today is moving day. We're moving to another town. Squeeze, worried, is Pinza coming with us? Oso, sadly, no, Squeeze. Pinza isn't coming with us. Squeeze, shocked, what? Overwhelmed, Squeeze runs out of the repair shop, tears in her eyes. Oso, calling after her, Squeeze. Oso quickly sets down the bed and rushes after Squeeze, determined to comfort her and help her understand the changes ahead. Squeeze runs out of the repair shop, feeling overwhelmed and upset. The other Tools notice her distress and quickly gather around her. Turner, concerned, Squeeze, what's wrong? Squeeze, sniffling, we're moving to another town and Pinza isn't coming with us. The Tools exchange worried glances, understanding how hard this must be for Squeeze. Dusty, gently, oh, Squeeze, we're all going to miss Pinza. But remember, we'll still have each other. Stretch, comfortingly, and we'll make new friends in the new town, just like we did here. Pat, encouragingly, yeah, and think of all the new adventures we'll have together. Squeeze looks at her friends, feeling a bit better but still sad. Oso catches up to them, kneeling down to Squeeze's level. Oso, softly, Squeeze, it's okay to feel sad. Change can be really hard. But we're all here for you, and we'll face this together. The Tools gather around Squeeze, giving her a group hug. She starts to feel a bit more comforted by their support. Squeeze, sniffling, thanks everyone. I guess it won't be so bad if we're all together. Oso, smiling, that's the spirit, Squeeze. How about we read a story to help you feel better? The Tools nod in agreement and gather around Squeeze. Oso pulls out a book and begins to read the story about the farmer, just like Mrs. Candace did at Tool School. Oso, reading, once upon a time, there was a farmer who loved his land and his animals. One day, he had to move to a new town, but he knew that his love and care would make his new farm just as wonderful. As Oso reads, Squeeze starts to relax, feeling comforted by the familiar story and the presence of her friends. The Tools listen intently, feeling reassured by the story's message. Oso, finishing the story, and so the farmer and his animals lived happily ever after in their new home, making new friends and new memories. Squeeze smiles, feeling a bit more at ease. Squeeze. The Townsend family, who were interested in buying the repair shop, are now looking at a beautiful house with a sparkling pool. The lady looks at the house, then back at the repair shop, and shakes her head. Lady, laughing, what were we thinking? The family decides to move on, realizing that the house with the pool is a much better fit for them. They walk away, leaving the repair shop behind. The scene opens with the soothing music of Lazarus Drug from Bluey playing in the background. Manny is at the repair shop, closing the door for what he thinks might be the last time. Just then, his phone rings. It's Bucky. Bucky, on the phone, hey Manny, I have some news. Manny listens, then throws the for sale sign aside, a look of relief and joy on his face. Oso, seeing Manny's reaction, jumps out of the truck and runs to him, wrapping him in a big hug. Oso, excitedly, Manny, what's going on? The Tools, noticing the commotion, join in, surrounding Manny and Oso in a group hug. They all run back into the repair shop, filled with excitement and happiness. Soon, food arrives and everyone gathers to celebrate. Manny and Oso look at each other, their eyes filled with gratitude and joy. They share a heartfelt hug, knowing that everything is going to be all right. The scene fades out with the same credits from Bluey's The Sign, leaving the audience with a warm and happy feeling.